Happy Monday morning, Horn Lake High School. Mr. Lewis here in EVTV with
Trent.
You all know him. You all love him. Today we're talking about a life tip, I should say, not skill, a life tip. Whenever you go to the grocery store to purchase a bottle of ketchup, you're supposed to purchase how many bottles? Trent?
At least 2 bottles of ketchup.
At least 2 bottles of ketchup. Now, many of you students are sitting there right now thinking, this is a total waste of my time. And for many of you, it may be. But the teachers out there are thinking right now, yes, Mr. Lewis, you are absolutely correct. And for you students who think that this is a waste of your time, listen up, because this is going to be a life lesson that is going to serve you well. It's going to serve you super. Now, here's the thing. Whenever you're making out that grocery list for the week, and I like hamburgers, and I'm making out my list, I'm saying, I'm going to have hamburgers, so I'm going to put meat on the list. I'm going to put buns, maybe some frozen French fries, maybe some actual...
You gotta put the pickles on the list too. Pickles are amazing on burgers. With the cheese.
Pickles, cheese, onions, yeah, all of that, okay? Whenever you do all of that, you never put ketchup on the list. You don't put ketchup on the list because you just assume that
it's already at the house.
Right. And whenever you assume something, sometimes it can get you into some big trouble. There's been several times in life when I have actually been outside grilling just the most amazing, juicy hamburgers you've ever seen in your life. Get inside, warm toast the bun.
Toasted buns are great. But I don't want to get over the fact that Lewis did say that he puts his burgers on the stove before we recorded this.
Okay.
Just want that to be known.
In the wintertime, sometimes I do them in a cast iron skillet. If you want a good burger, you want a good burger. And I'm not going to go out in the 20-degree weather and fire the grill up for that. However, there's been times when I have worked on all of that hard work, 30 minutes of cooking, and I'm plating the food, and I go to the refrigerator. Cue the scream when I realize there is no ketchup.
None. Not at all.
And it's even worse when somebody else in the house used the last of the ketchup and tossed the bottle into the garbage can.
And didn't say anything.
And didn't say anything. And then you have this burger that is now getting cold, and you have to get in the car and drive to Kroger to pick up a bottle of ketchup, because there is not a world that exists where you're going to eat a burger without the ketchup on it.
Right. See? And then it's even a bigger problem for me, right? See, when you're making the burgers, you gotta spread the raw meat out. Then you gotta put the mustard and ketchup and Worcestershire on the burger before you even start cooking it. So that means I went to the store, got the meat, came back, didn't get any ketchup. I'm getting ready to make some burgers, and there's no ketchup. That means I gotta go back to the store within like 30 minutes of itself.
Yeah, and by that point, you're just angry. Like, there's
You
not...
don't even want the burger.
Right, there's not even a burger in the world that can make you happy at this point, because you're just ticked off because there's no ketchup. So, the next time you go to the store and you realize it actually makes the list, when you go to the store to buy ketchup, you're coming out of that store with 2 bottles, sometimes 3 bottles. There was a time when the Lewis household was out of ketchup because a certain member of the family did not tell L. Lewis that he needed to get a bottle of ketchup. And we actually were out of it for 2 separate meals. 2, not 1 meal. We were out of ketchup that we needed it for 2 meals. I was a little bit miffed. So I went to the store and bought 4 of the really large bottles of ketchup.
You know about the ones that come in packs of 2? Like the big bottles are like this big, and they have like the little plastic piece on top that come in packs of 2. There's some of them that even come in packs of 3.
Preach. Okay? I actually came back to the house with 4, we just call them a barrel, 4 barrels of ketchup. They were huge. They took up half the pantry. Miss Lewis was angry that I came home with 4 bottles of ketchup. And my response was, well, we're not going to have the problem of being out of ketchup for at least 6 months.
look, you had to make up for the ketchup that you missed in those 2 meals.
It actually scarred me just a little bit in life to not have the ketchup when I needed the ketchup. Now, Kayla's behind this camera and she's shaking her head the whole time because she doesn't like ketchup. And I mean, we all know that Kayla tends to keep her opinions to herself. But in this case, she is not much of a ketchup eater, so she doesn't understand. Sarah over there did end up saying that she likes to make sure that the house is stocked properly with ketchup. Hey, all of this talk has got me wanting a hamburger, even at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
I could go for a good burger.